new bracket.
And you think Congress is going to pass that, knowing who they get their money from?
They do whatever he tells them to do.
If President Trump comes in and says to do it, he'll
okay, so the Steve Bannon.
As you guys know, and as the woke left has been melting down about for the last couple of weeks, Bill Maher went and had dinner with Donald Trump at the White House with Kid Rock and a bunch of other people. And Bill Maher has been taking a ton of flack ever since doing this. And now Bill Maher, after taking a couple of shows off, a couple of weeks off doing his show, he's now back and doing the shows again and explaining why he did what he did and explaining why the left is wrong for getting so angry at him for doing what he did when it comes to going having dinner with Donald Trump. He's fed up with it. I mean, you guys saw the video that I posted yesterday. If you didn't see it, go watch that, because he lost it on one of his guests. It was not pretty. It's one of the most angry I've ever seen Bill Maher on this show. Normally it's really like happy and light and funny, but it wasn't that yesterday. It wasn't that at all in the video that I posted yesterday, where he was going after one of his guests for criticizing him for going talk to Donald Trump at dinner. Apparently that's, that's blasphemy for the left wing to go talk to the other side. And it's not even apparent. Like, we know that to be true. They're the side that says shun your family from Thanksgiving. They're the side that says don't go to Christmas if your family voted for Donald Trump. That's the side that's doing it. So let's get into this clip here where Bill Maher is going off on his panel and on the left wing for what they're saying about him for just going to have dinner with Donald Trump.
No showers. Trump is...
I'm with Trump on this one, yeah. No one likes a low flow shower. That's an 80-20 issue. That's good politics as far as I'm concerned.
And daylight savings time.
Now, that one I like. That one I like it to be light in the evenings.
Yes.
I'm not a morning person. For all the morning people out there, forget you. Okay?
But getting rid of it, don't we have more light in the winter? Yeah. So that's what we want.
No, if we get rid of daylight savings time, it gets dark early.
No. What we do now is when it starts to get dark, we move it the wrong way. And now it's dark at like 4 in the afternoon. It's stupid. That's what he's, I think, trying to get rid of. And the penny.
Yeah. He's right about all these things, I think.
Well, it's just good politics to pick no taxes on tips, all these little things.
Yeah. It's somewhat of a distraction from the ongoing.
And raise taxes on the wealthy. He said it last week.
Is that coming?
It's coming.
But what about the tax cut for the wealthy? Isn't that coming too?
No. It's going to be extended. He's not going to extend the tax cuts for the wealthy. He's going to no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and no tax on overtime.
So you're saying all the donors are about to get a tax hike?
They're already screaming. But he told the Senate that he's open to when extending the tax cuts, not extend them.
Open to. So
no. But he's already, I think, and Scott Bessent, the Secretary of Treasury, I think, is working on this, not to extend it to the upper bracket or make a new bracket.
And you think Congress is going to pass that, knowing who they get their money from?
They do whatever he tells them to do.
If President Trump comes in and says to do it, he'll
okay, so the Steve Bannon plan is that Republicans are going to abandon the donor class, and then what's going to happen in 2020?
Where else are they going to go? We got total leverage over them. Where else are they going to go?
Well, there's another election coming up.
They're going in the midterms and the thing. But where else are they going to go? If you don't restore the economic viability of the working class and the middle class, and you have to do that by sealing the border, right, so it's not flooded with illegal alien labor. Number 2 is the tariffs to bring manufacturing jobs back. And the third is that working class and middle class people need a tax cut. They need no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and most importantly, no tax on Social Security.
Just ban income tax, man. And I swear if they end up abolishing income tax for people, I think it was like the number that they gave was for people making less than $165,000 a year. If they do that, I'm going to be so pissed. Or I'm just going to make sure that on paper I make less than $165,000 a year. But I'm going to be so pissed, man. But I know that's actually never going to happen. They're never going to abolish income tax. It's way too good to be true. But taxation is theft, and I'll die on that hill. And also, when it comes to the Republicans abandoning the donor class, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, man. And you did see Bill Maher throw in that little quip. Like, he does not like that guy. I don't know who that is. I guess his name's Josh Rogan. I've never heard of that guy before, but he does not like that guy. And that's the guy that I referred to that was on yesterday's episode as well, where Bill Maher was really going at him because he is one of the people who were going at Bill Maher for having dinner with Donald Trump, and he doesn't like that. And Bill Maher just does not like that guy. You can see he was like, "Where have you been living?" Throwing in that little jab there. But Yeah, in terms of the Republicans abandoning the donor class, it's not going to happen. I know people are going to get mad at me in the comments. You know, the Daily Wire type viewers are going to be mad at me for saying that, and you're going to still think, oh, Donald Trump is the greatest thing ever, and he's going to abandon the donor class. He's not abandoning the donor class. That's why we didn't get that list that was promised to us. That's why, like, it's not going to happen. They're not going to abandon the donor class. I understand you're going to be like, but what about tariffs? What about tariffs? He already paused the tariffs. Like, the tariffs are basically done except for in China. You know, he's not abandoning the donor class. I know that's going to make so many people mad in the comments, but it's just the truth, man. Like, I'm not going to act like I don't know the truth. It's not, I'm not Destiny or David Pakman who's just going to lie just to exist in an echo chamber and collect money. It's not going to happen.
That's another $500 billion a year we have to come with. That's why, by the way, it's going to be a huge fight. But the Democrats and progressives had control in 2021. In those first 100 days, and they put up a no taxing the billionaires, and it didn't even get out of committee. But President Trump and the MAGA movement will raise taxes on the wealthy.
All right. Let me ask you another
do you believe
question.
that when the tariffs cause huge inflation, that the lower middle class are going to reward the Republicans for that? When all the prices go up? Because in 1890, when we had tariffs, the Republicans lost the House and the presidency because of the
You should know this, Josh, better than anybody, because when we raised the tariffs on China in 18, prices came down. We didn't have any inflation in 19, and we had the highest tariffs we ever put on China.
Hey, how about that dire wolf? We brought back the dire wolf. They brought back a species called the dire wolf that was...
Real quick, I have to say one more thing on the taxing the wealthy thing. I know this is once again going to piss so many people off. I kind of come from a different world, I guess. You know, I'm from the online business world, and I just happen to have a right-wing viewpoint. I'm not coming from, like, you know, the typical working a 9-to-5, getting mad at people for making more money than me. That's just not me. I look at people who make more money than me, and I look at them as inspiration, and I strive to be like them. And so whenever I hear people saying things like, oh, we need to tax people who make more money than me, it just seems like you're just bitter, and it's just a skill issue. Like, how about instead of you crying about people making more money than you and why they pay less taxes than you, how about you just make more money and learn the tax code better? I don't understand. Like, the reason why they pay less taxes than you is because your taxes, the amount of taxes that you pay, are dictated by your employer because you work for somebody else. And that's okay. That's fine. But if you're going to settle for that, then you can't complain about wealthy people who, you know, risked a lot, worked their ass off to get to where they're at right now for paying less taxes than you. Like, I will never stand by that. That is the lamest thing ever, in my opinion. Like, tax the rich, tax the rich. You sound like you're just bitter. You're mad. It's a skill issue. Get better, make more money. And then you could just not complain about them, and you could just be rich with them. It's possible. Anybody could do it.
Was extinct using DNA they had in a fossil.
What could go wrong?
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I can't.
They're going to do the woolly mammoth next. You know, I think they made a movie about this.
Don't knock it until they, in 100 years, they bring back Bill Maher from a fossil. Look how great that would be.
They made a movie once about, you know, bringing back extinct species and the risk of it. It was called Jurassic Park. Maybe you've all seen it, you know.
I know, but
so maybe we shouldn't screw with science then.
No, that was a super funny joke, man. I really don't like this guy either. But yeah, if they start bringing back people from the dead, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be really, really crazy. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you be able to do that? If you could go and take DNA from a dire wolf, I think they like spliced DNA from a regular wolf and made it more like the DNA from a dire wolf. So it's kind of tricky. You probably wouldn't be able to bring back a specific person, right, with that strategy. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but like, it would be wild if you could bring back like Nikola Tesla, bro. That would be insane. That would be so nutty. Or you could bring back like, dude, that'd be really, that would get really crazy. I think Jesus might return at that point if we started to do stuff like that. To be honest, man, that could get really crazy. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about Bill Maher. You could just tell how fed up he is with these woke idiots, and you know, he's letting it be known. I love it. I love that he doesn't care anymore. Because for a while, I think Bill Maher had been awake. You know, he's been awake for quite a bit, or on the verge of it. You know, waking up, but he's just scared to offend his audience too much to where they all leave. And now he's just kind of like, nah, I don't give a shit. You guys are wrong. I'm doing what I know to be right. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this whole Bill Maher versus this woke panel, this woke panelists really situation.